All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another session for our CEJA office hours. There were a few updates that went out this past Thursday evening that I just wanted to quickly go over. The first one had to do with the dashboard. We had a couple of these rows here under the service status section for customers who have an estimated cost and customers with a completed wraparound service. These were not populating with counts for customers who had meet either of these criteria here, but we did get an update out for that. And then on the program completion tab, we did have one of the transition outcome options for um, other training transition, if that's selected on the program completion page. We were running into an issue if you were going back to edit a previously saved transition outcome and adding a second status to it. It was not saving, but that has also been corrected. And then the only other update I wanted to go over was we had an issue come up that if there was a customer who was an inquiry, and if you, so for example, we had this first customer here. If they're an inquiry and we have the training program or provider and or navigator, it just the filter logic, using more than multiple, more than one option here. There's an issue pulling back that customer, but let's see here. Search here. Um, where before for this customer example, it wouldn't pull back. There was an issue with the training program not getting picked in, or the grantee as well. But we've updated the search for that, and taking a quick look to see if there's anything else. I believe that was all. Some updates. Let me take a look at the current round of updates that we're uh, working on with some of the issues. Let's see. It's kind of seem to be unique issues or updates just to other sections. So I don't know if there's anything necessarily to share at the moment with what we're currently working on. But yeah, with that, I will go ahead and open it up to questions. Um, Feel free to unmute the mic or enter them in the chat. We can get those questions answered. Additionally, if there's anything you'd like for us to go over in the system, just let me know and we can cover that on the call here. Hi, Joyce. You got your hand raised.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. I have a question regarding the program since I'm new and still trying to learn this system. But I did have a question. I hope it's not a dumb question, but what's the difference between like a regular referral and in-house referral? When we use the in-house referral, is that with what the services that we will be providing for the East St. Louis Workforce Hub?
I'm sorry, Joe. Could you repeat that? I had an issue with my speaker system just now.
Sure, the difference between like a regular referral versus an in-house referral. Like the
Okay.
in-house referral, would that be services that we will be rendering internally through the East St. Louis Workforce Hub program?
Yes, yeah. So let me pull up a couple of things here.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me find. Let's take a look at. I think we've worked on this customer before, so we should have some referrals and in-house support things selected here. Okay, we do have a referral. Okay, great. So for this customer, we completed the service needs assessment over here on the intake page. And we identified, let's see, what do we identify? Maybe it wasn't this version. I'll open up both these just to see. Okay, so in this, so for this customer, we said we would have we provide in-house support for, in this case, covering, helping cover the costs with prescriptions. And so the in-house support, those would be, when the in-house support items are, checked in the service needs assessment, that's going to populate in this section here on the customer's progress page. And so, yeah, so this would be, an item that you would, I got this Teams sharing bar here that's not always cooperative. Okay. So this would be, okay, yeah, a case here where we would sort of in-house support, those would be, items that, your organization, um, would provide or, facilitate, and you would capture those in the system with the wraparound support services itemized list here. And so, for the service costs, let's say, so in this case, we needed to, so service type, we selected healthcare and then prescriptions, payment start date, individual payment costs, excuse me, times at this cost estimate, who it's paid by, and if it's a split payment, so click yes here. And yeah, you would also select on the service provider tab, your organization and program here. And then when we go back to the progress page and refresh this here, we'll see that cost has been added here. It looks like we have a cost estimate for this one. But yeah, referrals, those would be, things that your, organization may not be able to provide. So you would send a referral to, another another local agency.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And then my next question would be the system timeout. Like, for example, when I'm making some case notes, because I'm just trying to familiarize myself with this system, and I was entering some case notes on a participant. When I went to save the case note, it's like it froze. So I know
Yeah.
I started it probably 5 minutes ago, and then I had to step away and then I came back to save it. It's like it may have timed out, or I
Mhm.
don't know, it froze up on me. So is there a time limit as to how long you have to have a page active?
Yeah, I believe it is, I want to say it's 15 minutes. Otherwise, yeah, it was for implemented a few years ago for security purposes. I know too that sometimes that'll happen to me when I'm looking at things in the system, whether I have too many tabs open or there's a tab I have open, but it's downsized or I kind of forgotten that it was open, and so the system will um, trigger that um, after I do want to say it's about 15 minutes. Um, if a tab is inactive when it's logged in the system, it will sign the user out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Antonio.
Hello there. So I was going through the back end and we were updating some of our participants, trying to make sure we accurately recorded that they had completed the some OSHA 30 training. And I believe it was on the same page that you were just looking at. We were adding training and activity service. But as I was trying to update the system, it provided me an error after inputting the case note follow-up. The error was that the provider field was required. However, when I went back into it to check it, I did not see a provider field to input. So I don't know if it just was not um, populated, well, not populated, if it just was not showing up because of selecting a certain item on there. I can, well, I have it pulled up on my screen, but I can kind of walk through. The individual had completed the training. I had put in all the dates. They had successfully completed it. And when I went to update the customer service, it would just pull up the error message.
I think I think I know. So okay, did the system look or did the error message look like this here? Let me enter a case note here. Did it look like, well, let me find a different service. Let me quickly enter this here. Oops. Let's see, date first. Um, could you submit a help request ticket with that customer, Antonio? I'd like to take a closer look at it. And it may just be because this is a older customer we've updated so many times in test. Um, I would say my first thought is that, on this in the service provider tab, that message is popping up because, one of, the organization and program here is not selected. But if it is selected and you're getting that error message, I think that's definitely an issue with the system that we'll need to take a closer look into.
I will submit that for you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. I do see a question in the chat. Is the follow-up service activities still being determined on what should be entered there? Oh yes, I apologize that it slipped my mind here. I believe, and let me take a look at this. I believe that gets automatically added. Um, when a new customer is added into the system. And I believe, oh, let's take a look here. Let's see, because we just have those fields there. One, something up in another window here. So I want to see the definition that we have for this service here. Okay, so here is that. Uh, the definition that I'm seeing is may include adult mentoring services, but I see that it's also attached to a couple other programs. 'Cause I had thought that, yeah, I apologize. I'll take today I'll try and get an answer on that service, and I can send an email out through the system. Um, I'll need to, yeah, take a closer look at a few things for that. Julie, I see you got your hand raised.
Possibly related to that. So I've noticed when we change a student from inquiry to applicant, and then it automatically populates the things that are going to be in their activities on there. It used to put like a breakdown of like career awareness and employability and just all of that broke down. I noticed now that instead of that, it's just putting bridge program in there. Is that just a change that's been made in the system, or is that related to the having not set up training? I don't know how that changed. And then a lot of the classes that were broke down before aren't there to choose to add yourself. So I didn't know if that was just a system change.
Yeah, yeah, that was a system change. I would
Okay,
have
I
to
might have
check
just missed that
when.
announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a system change. And if memory serves, kind of the idea behind that was having this service rather than the one service rather than the multiple
Okay.
services.
Okay. It made sense. I just wanted to double check. So, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Then I guess with the follow up, yeah, I guess is the question, because I'm in here trying to look at it now. Is the question like, are there services that you should be assigning in there? Excuse me, in there, and then do we have all of the right options in the drop down menu? Is that kind of the question too?
Yes, I know that it was changed to the pre-apprenticeship training service, and then I noticed that it automatically programmed the free or the follow-up, service as well. And I just didn't know what to put in that one.
Yeah, I think with the follow-up service, again, I need to take a closer look at it. I think that is somehow tied to this section on the program completion page. Um, to
Yeah,
identify if
David,
the, yeah, go ahead, Nate.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you go in there, you click on that, and then if you go down and or yeah, add services activities up there. No, I'm sorry. Close that one out. If you click the edit button on the follow-up services,
Yeah.
yeah. So then, yes. So I think the question is, how do we align their choices here with what's in the manual? Where it talks about individual work counseling, employer contact and intervention, peer support group, mentorship, career advancement services, barrier reduction support services, opening a business assistance referral. Yeah, that may be something we need to create, David.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to see too, I'm just going to update this quickly. I can't recall if when we edit this and we, update the status and assign it to a goal, if that changes the view on the program completion page here. Oh, I don't believe it does. I think what I'm thinking of is once the customer is marked as complete or withdrawn, then we see, um, the ability to click on, there's, the 1 month follow-up case note, second month follow-up case note, and you're able to enter the case notes in there. That's what I was going down there. But yeah, like, not to, we'll need to take a kind of closer look at that and discuss and get an answer for everybody. Any other questions? Hi, Joy.
Hi, David. Another quick question.
Yeah.
One thing that my case managers were trying to figure out when we had our navigators to do our pre-screening and outreach, some of the navigators just went through and selected like every barrier reduction service that they could possibly select. And then once we actually had our one-on-one with them, a lot of the services that were selected, they did not need. Is there a way that we can clean up their record and seizures from the services that they actually didn't need?
Yeah, so I think what we would need to do is, let me see here. Let me take a look at this here. So, for example, let me go to a different customer actually. Let me find someone we can take a look at. Service needs assessment. Okay. So if we have a couple customers here, I know their status is withdrawn, but for example, it looks like when the service needs assessment was filled out that they needed um, gas cards and first month rent as at least, in-house support. Um, and if that turned up that, we didn't really need to provide those after all. So this one, okay, that's, and I think if we just go back to the service needs assessment and then say, so I think if we uncheck here, click no, and I think there's another one. Okay, maybe it's just that one. If we click submit, and if we go back over to our progress page and refresh, I think what should happen is, okay, well, I wonder if that's because we already have that entered. That's just pulling through here. Let me just do this. Let's see here. Gas cards. I thought we had updated this. Yeah. Okay. That looks like something we'll need to correct in the system. But yeah, my guidance would be if it was in-house support, um, we would do, just that. We would come back into the service needs assessment and, uncheck whatever it was that was no longer needed. And same for referrals too. One of the updates that one of our programmers is working on actually is, if a referral is no longer needed, if it shows up in, this section here, if it's no longer needed and, we make that change in here that it would, show as, no action or, no, not needed. But it looks like we'll have to do an update for this section here to pull in the latest version of the service needs assessment. I think though in the meantime you can go in and make those changes in the service needs assessment just to uncheck those items and then clicking to save it. Because when this does get updated, the next once that update gets pushed out, then the next time this page refreshes, whether it's done manually or through that overnight sync, then it should pull in the latest information and show up.
Perfect. Okay, thank you, because they were trying to do that exactly what you did, and it was still showing there. So thank
Yeah,
you for addressing that, because that was one thing that we were a little confused about. So I
sure.
appreciate that. And then with the in-house referrals, Do we include our partners with that? Like, for example, we have Urban League SOS Sons that will be doing like our gas cards and things of that nature. When we select referral, since they are our partners, are they considered in-house?
I would have I'd have to take a look at how if in-house is defined anywhere, but I would assume that that would be the referral. Because I think in-house is just like your specific organization, and anything outside of it would be. Let me ask around though for some other program leads who have the service needs assessment in their programs. I can
Thank you.
find
Yeah,
out
that
what they
was a
say.
big, huge question too. So, okay, that would be great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mhm. Are there any other questions? Hi, go ahead.
Hi, I have a maybe I don't know if this is the right forum for this or not. I'm working the business office and have a question about financial reporting with GRS being down. If we don't need a cash request, are we required to submit anything for that until the system's back up?
I would defer to the RAs on that question.
Yeah, and I think we're going to need to defer to the financial folks. Gwen, could you repeat that question?
Yeah, so Nate, I know we've been emailing today about GRS being down and submitting the financial reports without the GRS screenshots. However, there was also a conversation about cash requests. If we don't need a cash request before the August 8th, like we can wait a month to get our cash. Or do we need to submit anything?
This is Diana. I don't believe you need to submit anything if you don't need a cash request.
Perfect. Thank you, Diana. Appreciate it.
Yep.
But that's a separate question from the financial reporting though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be turning in our quarterly report. It's just typically we would do a cash request for the monthly, and with everything else on the monthly reporting being in GRS, if we don't need the cash request, I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to get dinged for something if we don't turn anything in. So.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Joy, I see you got your hand raised.
I think that's old.
Oh.
I addressed both of them, so thank you.
Yeah, sure. Are there any other questions or anything you'd like for us to go over in the CEJA system? Not, I'll just check with the RAs. Nate, Larry, Michelle, is there anything you'd like to add or share with the group?
It's Diana. I would just, again, encourage everybody to work with your grant managers and your regional administrators in making sure that the data from your monthly report and what's in the CEJA reporting system are merging toward matching. Just want to remind everybody about that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Diana. Nate, so you got your hand raised.
Oh, that's all I was going to say.
Excellent.
We just need folks to match their monthly report to the system. So when they get that monthly report prepared, if they would pop open the CEJA reporting system and make sure that what's in there matches what they've got in the monthly report. And if we need to jump on a call to kind of try to figure out what's going wrong, then we can do that.
Thank you, Nate. If there's no other questions, we can go ahead and end the call early. I will get this recording posted to the partner guide pages later today, and I'll look into a couple of the questions that came up with the follow-up services, and then kind of that definition of in-house support, if that includes partners or if it's just your specific organization. So I will be looking into that, and yeah, if there's anything that comes up, please feel free to reach out to me through the help desk or email. And with that, we'll go ahead and end the call. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.